Castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever it penetrates it can break up lumps, bumps, adhesions. So great for cysts in the breast, for breast cancer, great for irritable bowel, great for constipation. It's very good at breaking up stones in the gallbladder, kidney stones, bone spurs.
Hello students, today we have a great research from Dr. Barbara O'Neill to let you guys know. Dr. Barbara O'Neill believes in using food as medicine to treat illnesses, thereby keeping you away from the hospital. She is a strong advocate for holistic and natural health, with many testimonies to support her claim. Today she will teach us how to use common foods as medicine in treating common illnesses that affect us. Watch till the end of this video to avoid missing all the juicy details.
Now to use castor oil, you make a little pack. Now this is not really a poultice, it's more a compress. So you'll notice I've got an old tea towel here, so you can use an old towel or something like that, and I'm going to put the castor oil on. Castor oil is very thick and it takes a little while to soak in. So all I do is do about a middle third of the whole area.
To use the castor oil for healing, Dr. Barbara advises you pour a small quantity of the oil into a napkin or towel. Ensure the outer layer of the napkin not facing your skin is lined with a plastic bag to prevent the oil from leaking and soiling your clothes. Wait for about 30 minutes after making the compress, and then place the castor oil compress on the affected area and hold in place with a cloth or bandage.
So the beauty of this is the plastic isn't really touching you. So the only thing that's touching you is the paper topping, and the plastic is really just to protect your clothes and stop oil going everywhere, which you don't want. Castor oil is very thick and it takes a little while to soak in. So I say to people, when you're using castor oil, pour it in and don't touch it for about half an hour. Now that's a really good area to put on the abdomen. Now if castor oil is applied to the abdomen, it will heal any problems in the abdomen. So what have we got in abdomen? For a woman, there's the uterus. So that will penetrate and break up fibroids in the uterus. That will penetrate and break up cysts on the ovaries. That will penetrate and soften the colon if the person has constipation. That will penetrate into the colon and heal the colon if the person has bad diarrhea. Remember Psalm 104 verse 14? God gave herbs for the service of man. So whether it's diarrhea, irritable bowel, or whether it's constipation, the castor oil will go in and it will penetrate very, very deep, and it causes a cleansing and a healing in that area. It's a remarkable herb.
So, you guys must be excited about using castor oil. These are not the only benefits of castor oil. There are countless benefits. Furthermore, Dr. Barbara says people can use it to break gallstones, put it on liver area. Also, it can help in breaking of kidney stones by putting castor oil compress at your back. I have seen people apply it to bones, to fingers, and even on foot heels. Also, it has a great property to say goodbye to cold feet. That is discussed in our previous video. You can watch that afterwards. Dr. Barbara had a friend, and she even cured her 2 tumors by using castor oil. So, don't take it easy. Dr. Barbara's relative, John, used to apply this on his knees, which cured his knees too quick.
So the castor oil, I've also seen it help people with brain tumors. And what they do is they put it on the area. Remember, it'll penetrate very, very deep, break up lumps, bumps, congestions, adhesions.
Dr. Barbara also focuses a lot on other fruits and vegetables, such as potato, onion, cayenne pepper, and many more. Let's see what she say about potato and how to use it in best ways.
Now the potato is a drawer, but the potato is very gentle. There are areas in the body you would not put onion, and you would not put ginger, and you would not put garlic, but the gentle potato. So where are those areas? In the tender parts of the body. So your eyes, It's very calming and cooling for inflamed eyes, conjunctivitis, sprained ankle. In fact, that's what we put on Zaza when she sprained her ankle yesterday, was the grated potato. The grated potato is very cooling, so if you've got an inflamed red area, the potato, because it's high in phosphorus and potassium, the skin absorbs that, and because it's very alkaline, it neutralizes the acid condition, cools it, and it can draw out and reduce the inflammation. Now, the way I make my poultices is mess-free. That's what I like, mess-free. So I wrap up Glad Wrap a few times, and what I'm aiming for with my poultice is that I've got a little bit more plastic around the edge of my poultice. So I put that down, and then I put the cloth that I'm going to make the poultice on down, and then I grate it. But this has a... So you can grate it straight onto the cloth. Now, I'm not sure what you call these in America. We call them Chuck's cloths. I guess that's the brand name. But I guess you call them a cleaning cloth, yeah? And they're disposable, and they've got little holes in them. If someone had breast cancer, I wouldn't use this, but if someone had a swollen ankle or a sprained ankle, it would be fine to use for that.
Potato is a food proven to have medicinal properties. To use grated potato as medicine, get a plastic or leather outer covering, then get a cloth. Place this cloth on the plastic. This forms an inner layer. Grate your potato on the cloth. Be careful not to use too much potato. Then, fold the cloth to cover and hold the potato, and place it on the affected area with the plastic making an outer covering.
Be very careful you don't use too much potato, because if you use too much potato, the poultice can get very wet, and if the poultice leaks, is no fun. So I now have a package, and now I turn it over, because where you put the poultice on, you're going to put it on that side that just has one layer. So can you see how much plastic I've got around my poultice? So can you see how much I've put on here? And now I'm going to fold it over, which is how you make the poultice. You fold over two sides, like that, and then you fold over the other two sides.
Barbara O'Neill explains that potatoes are particularly useful for sensitive areas of the body where stronger remedies like onion, ginger, or garlic might be too harsh. For instance, grated potato is effective for treating inflamed eyes and sprained ankles. Potatoes are high in phosphorus and potassium, making them very alkaline. When applied to the skin, they help neutralize acid conditions and reduce inflammation. Barbara shares that she often uses grated potato wrapped in plastic and cloth to make a mess-free compress. For example, she recounts using a potato compress on a woman's sprained ankle, which provided significant relief. Next up, we have versatile benefits of ginger.
Now we're going to have a look at ginger. Ginger can be used internally and ginger can be used externally. Internally, it's an anti-inflammatory, but it's probably mostly known for its anti-nausea effect. If you buy car sickness or seasickness tablets, it's compressed ginger. Now the easiest way I think to have this is to grate it. So you grate it on that little grater, and you'll grate about a teaspoon, and you put it in a little teapot and pour boiling water on it, and let it sit probably 10 minutes. Now that might be too strong for you, but I love it. I love it like that. If it's too strong, you just water it down a little bit. If someone's very cold, maybe they've been caught out in the cold or something, and it's very hard to warm them up, give them a cup of hot ginger tea and it will warm them up very nicely. So it can be used for nausea, it can be used to warm a person if they're chilled or cold. A girl with a tiny little grater grating ginger, and I said, ginger. She said, I'm an entertainer, I'm a singer. She said, I was in Greece last year and I lost my voice, and a little Greek lady made me a hot ginger tea. She said, I sung that night. So she said, I travel with my little grater everywhere I go.
Dr. O'Neill explains that ginger can be used both internally and externally. Internally, ginger is known for its anti-inflammatory properties and its ability to combat nausea. Many car sickness or seasickness tablets contain compressed ginger. The easiest way to consume ginger is by grating it. To use ginger externally, grate the ginger into fine pieces and wrap it in a light cloth or towel. Place this wrap on a plastic bag to act as an outer covering, and place this on the affected area of your body.
So if you apply this to the lower back, the heat relaxes the muscles, and yet the ginger is reducing the inflammation. Now, if someone has an inflamed joint, say a wrist or an ankle or a knee or toes, we apply the ginger poultice maybe about 6 o'clock in the evening. And within half an hour, if there's inflammation in there, the skin gets very hot. And then the person has the choice when they're going to bed, is that heat all right? Because if it's too hot, they can just take it off. But if it feels good to them, they can go to sleep. But when people have gout or arthritis, the heat is usually very, very nice. And again, for a sore lower back, it's very nice. And the first one I'm going to look at is the onion. You can use onion cooked or you can use it raw. And the cooked onion, in my knowledge, is used for two main reasons. One is for an earache. And it was the first poultice that I ever did. The little old lady next door told me about it. And she said, you steam an onion. Now you either steam it or dry bake it, because if you boil it, some of the healing properties in the onion will go into the water. So you usually do it. Now, my helpers very efficiently took the skin and the end off, but you actually leave all that on because that'll help to hold it together. And then when it's soft, you cut it in half, and you cut it in half crossways, so you're now looking at the rings. And what you can do is you can squeeze some of the juice from the steamed onion. It'll be boiling, and when it hits the spoon, it'll cool a little, and then you can put that into the ear, and that can bring a bit of relief. And then you wrap up the onion in a cloth. Now you can use a cloth like this, which looks like it's a cut up from an old sheet, or you could use a hand towel or a tea towel. So you wrap it over a few times, because remember, it's boiling hot. And when you get it to the right temperature, test it on your arm, then it can be placed on the ear, and then you will put a little sheet of plastic over that, which will keep the warmth in, and then you could bandage it on the ear. As long as you can keep it warm, you can keep it there. If it starts to get cold, then the ear will ache. The onion will just reduce the inflammation to the point that the blood may take the pus away. But the raw onion is used often mostly for respiratory.
On the other hand, onion can be used in its raw form as medicine. Dr. Barbara teaches of its use in the treatment of respiratory issues. Moreover, to use raw onion, cut the onion into pieces and put it into a plastic bag. Put your feet into the plastic bag and hold it in place with socks. The feet have been proven to have the largest amount of pores in the body, therefore it's a good point of absorption.
You want the onion on the bottom of the feet, because the biggest pores in your body are on the bottom of your feet, and the body will take the onion where it needs to go. And often it'll take it if you need it in the chest or to clear the head. I've got a little tip that may help you. Now, when you're camping, you've nearly always got an onion. And you've just about always got plastic bags. And so she did it to the lady who was willing to do anything. No coughing all night long. It's such a simple treatment and yet quite effective.
In conclusion, Dr. Barbara O'Neill's teachings on the use of common foods as medicine offer a compelling approach to holistic health. From the deep, penetrating benefits of castor oil to the gentle yet effective healing properties of grated potato, ginger, and onion, these natural remedies provide powerful alternatives to conventional treatments. If you found this video informative, don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more natural health tips and remedies. Stay tuned for more insightful content on how to harness the power of nature to heal and thrive. The information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new treatment or remedy.